What do you mean you got chlamydia?
I don't know, man. I don't want to tell anyone, man. But why'd you tell everyone, man?
Ladies and gentlemen, we are back on the Punchline podcast. My name is Musin Yasalada, one of the ugliest men in the UK.
Yeah, one of.
And to my left,
You got competition with your
I
dad.
have Fahan.
With my dad, actually. Sorry.
And my dad's kind of butters these days as well. Fahan, surprisingly small nipples.
Oh, how'd you see my nipples, man?
You showed me a photo just now.
Oh, yeah, I did, yeah. Fuck.
You strike me as a guy who'd have bigger nipples.
Oh, man.
In it, Lucas?
Yeah, that's one of the first things I thought about you, to be honest.
Did you?
You
I
do.
started thinking about your nipples.
I've got bigger nipples than you. Have you seen my nipples?
Yeah, you got the
I've got-
pepperoni nipples.
Have you seen my?
Pepperoni nipples.
Have you seen my nipples?
I haven't.
Don't get them out. Nah, come on, man. Oh,
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a
oh
juicy
those,
nipple.
are, those are pepperoni nips,
Yeah.
man.
Slap them on a Domino's pizza.
My
Yeah.
girlfriend, my girlfriend loves my nipples.
Is it?
Yeah, she loves them.
Wow.
Get a little bit of nipple play going.
Do you
Happy
suck
Valentine's Day.
Do you suck her titties or does she suck yours?
We take turns.
Oh, happy Valentine's Day, man.
Something about sucking tits that it's nice, but there's something wrong about it.
Yeah.
Because you think, why do I like this? Probably because at a subconscious level, it reminds me of receiving nourishment from my own mother.
The maternal instinct.
Yeah. I definitely don't want to suck my mum's tits.
Yeah.
However, it's the idea that I might be doing this because subconsciously I want to suck my mum's tits. That doesn't sit right with me. I still come.
It's weird.
As soon as I have that thought, I come.
It's
When
even
you're-
weirder when you go, mama.
Yeah, that's completely uncalled
When
for.
you sucking your girl's titties, are you secretly hoping milk will come out?
No, never.
Then it's fine then.
Never.
It's
never.
okay.
That
I
would
don't.
actually put me off if milk came out.
Yeah.
Would that put you off, Luke?
I think girls can lactate or some shit.
It's that's one of the only foods you can sustain yourself on. It's got all the vitamins to
Really?
survive on. That's the only food you could actually survive on.
We should bottle it and sell it.
Yeah.
People do.
People
Some like
probably do.
OnlyFans chicks, they bottle farts and shit as well.
If you were sucking,
Apparently.
Yeah.
I would buy it. If you were sucking a boobie and milk came out, is that a big no-no for you?
No, I wouldn't mind.
Really?
I mean, I wouldn't
Would
want
you
it.
swallow it, or would you be like,
I'd be like, oh.
back to work?
I'd be like, that's a bit. That's a bit. Do you remember that?
That's a bit natural.
What's that thing? What was that? Do you ever watch Little Britain? Bitty. Do you remember?
Bitchy. No,
Alright,
not now.
alright, fuck all the titty talk. Let's talk
now.
about something important, man.
What happened?
There was a big sporting event on the weekend. Did you watch it? Super
was it?
Bowl. Super Bowl.
Oh, Super Bowl. Yeah, let's talk about that.
Patrick Mahomes beat someone.
Why has he got?
That's all that happened on the weekend.
Is Patrick Mahomes half Mexican or something?
I think he's half something.
I know his dad's black, but what's his mum? Because he's got like an interesting look about
Yeah,
him.
he's a nice looking guy.
Yeah, he's a very nice looking guy.
So that's all. Should we wrap it up? That's the only thing that happened. So.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for coming to the Punchline podcast. Make sure you like and subscribe.
Oh, there was also this event in Australia called UFC 284.
Oh, we should probably
Did you know
talk
about that one?
That's why we're here.
Oh,
Silly.
yeah.
Naughty.
It was okay, man. It wasn't like, you know, it was like two guys in the main event. I think one was the number one in the world, one was number two in the world.
Yeah.
It was a bit shit, but you know.
Tell me how it went down.
You know, boring fight. Yeah, terrible fight. To be
Yeah.
honest, yeah.
Yeah.
What would you think?
Well, in all seriousness,
Yeah.
I think the sport should be banned, personally.
because of that fight was so bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, there was no skill involved.
None whatsoever.
No. The right guy won because he has more syllables. Oh, no, the wrong guy won.
Yeah, he didn't have enough syllables.
Not enough syllables. The guy with more syllables in his aim actually lost.
But he probably should have won. Who
Because
knows?
scientifically, that doesn't make sense. So there's clearly some sort of tomfoolery going on.
Okay, no, in all seriousness,
Okay, yeah,
one of the
it's
best
a great
fights. One of the best fights I've ever seen. One of the highest, you know, displays of MMA skill in that fight.
It was very sexy.
It was a real super fight.
Yeah.
Like, we've had champs before, but this was really, you could see this was 1 and 2. This was like, yeah, this was an amazing fight, man.
On your point, I would say it was an incredible fight, but not because it was a back and forth barn burner.
No.
It was just the appreciation of two highly skilled operators, the best in their field, going at it.
And normally, I don't really, because I'm not there, I don't really care about the crowd. But through the TV, the fucking Australian crowd was amazing.
Massively.
And you could tell it had a big impact on Volk's performance as well.
Massively.
It gave him like Super Saiyan energy. Like, he was proper relishing the moment, man. And maybe it got to Islam too in a negative way. Who knows? Yeah, it was. They were sick, man. One of the best crowds I've heard, even though I wasn't there. Definitely,
Yeah, it was amazing.
definitely better than, you know. I mean, the closest probably Conor McGregor in Ireland, but
The crowd assumed the responsibility to help Volkanovski win.
yeah.
They were like, we need to make this as uncomfortable as possible
Yeah.
for Islam Makhachev.
And not just for Volk, for everyone, like Jack Della, Madalena, like anyone, Justin Tafa, Jimmy Crew, even though he didn't win, but, you know, Jamie Malarkey, like everyone, they were behind everyone from bottom of the card to top of the card. So how did you score the fight, man?
Right. I had Islam winning 3-2.
Yeah.
Right. I can't remember exactly which rounds, but 1 I gave to Islam. Let's see if I can remember. 2 I gave to Islam. 3 I gave to Volk. 4 was clearly Islam. And then 5 Volk. So 3-2 Islam.
Yeah.
What about you?
I had it 3-2 to Islam, but let's talk about the definites were that Islam won round 1.
Yeah.
Islam won round 4.
Yeah.
And Volk won round 5.
Yeah. So 2 and 3 are the issue.
2 and 3 are so close where potentially you could give it either way, but me personally, while watching it, I had Islam winning round 2 and Volk winning round 3.
Yeah.
So I did have it 3-2 to Islam as well. But then I understand the argument for both winning round 2 or 3. Like,
Where
it was
was
just
it?
so close.
What was it? What round did they think that Volk dropped Islam in? Round 2.
Round 2 is when it was like a flash knockdown.
So a couple of people, including Faraz Zahabi, watched it back and said it wasn't a knockdown.
Yeah, it didn't look like a knockdown. When I saw it, I thought Islam tripped, to be honest.
He stumbled a little bit
Yeah.
and then changed levels,
Yeah.
which is clearly not a knockdown.
Yeah, I don't think it was a knockdown. But, you know, I don't have an argument with anyone saying 3-2 to Volk or 3-2 to Islam. The only issue is Islam didn't win 4-1. One of the judges had it 4-1. That's harsh.
How'd you give Islam 4? So you're saying he won every single round
Yeah.
apart from the last one?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't
most
think-
people wouldn't have done that.
Nah.
Also, the reason why I give round 2 to Islam is because the number 1 scoring criteria
Yeah.
is damage.
Yeah.
And he cut him in that round.
Yeah.
So how'd you square that off in your head?
What do you think about...
And he took him down. He didn't do much with it, but he did.
Yeah,
You
exactly.
know?
So what do you think about round 4? Because that's another one where some people are saying Volk, because Volk, you know, Islam had his back and Volk was landing shots.
Bro,
And they're like, oh, but damage trumps control. But he had him in a body lock.
use your common sense. Who would you rather be in that situation?
I'd rather be Islam. Man.
Yeah. You've got his back.
Yeah.
You got to remember in those situations, they're not progressing the position.
Yeah.
That's fine, but there's something to be said in putting someone in a position that they do not want to be in.
Yeah.
That has to have value.
Yeah.
If I hold you down, you don't want to be held down. Surely that's got to have some value.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
That was just a lot of control from Islam.
Like,
man.
I could hit
Definitely
you.
not that
Like,
round.
this was the equivalence of the force of those punches.
Ah.
Do you know what I mean?
Ow,
That's not going to
fuck you,
do
man.
much, is it? I'm sorry, man. I realise you're not an elite fighter like myself. I apologise.
Yeah, man. I think it was a close fight. You know, the best solution to this is rematch. Like, they need to run it back, man. That fight was so close, and also it was so good that they need to run it back. And I'm thinking, because, you know, Volk has promised Yair, and Yair looked good, you know, interim champion. I'm thinking maybe Volk could fight Yair maybe in May, June time, and then maybe in September Islam and Volk can run it back, because Islam's gonna take a break now until Ramadan's over anyway. So I think Volk could get that Yair fight in, hopefully win that, then rematch.
The only problem is there's going to be a lot of upset people in the lightweight division.
Upset people in the lightweight division.
I'm like, what about my title shot? Benil,
I mean,
for example.
Benil, I think needs one more anyway. I think he should probably fight.
I've heard some people saying
Charles
after
or
that fight
Dustin.
that they fancy Benil's chances more against Islam.
I don't know. I'm not sure.
This is the
about
problem with MMA fans. They're so fickle, man.
I mean, Volk is one of the best fighters in the world, and I don't think Benil is, so it's unfair to make that. But then because of the size difference, I don't know.
On that note, I have to provide some half apologies or admissions.
Yeah.
Admissions, not
Yeah,
apologies.
yeah,
I don't have to apologize. Okay, I clearly said it wasn't going to be close.
Yeah, I didn't.
It was All right, fucking hell, just throw me under the bus and walk away from the fire.
I thought Islam would.
Bastard.
I thought Islam would win, but I knew that Volk was going to bring it. I just knew it.
I didn't see it coming.
Yeah.
I did not see that performance coming.
Yeah.
And I was wrong. However, for the people in the comments saying, "Ha, what now, bro?"
He lost.
He lost.
He lost, bro.
How are you celebrating a loss?
Yeah.
Volk's not celebrating a loss.
It was close, but he lost at the end of the day. He did lose.
And people, some of the people in the comments, right? The amount of like illogical arguments you see on TikTok and Twitter, right? Like some people were saying to us, "Oh, even Joe Rogan said that he won."
Why is Joe Rogan like the be all end all of MMA choices?
So because this person said he won, he didn't win.
And also, Joe was high as fuck, probably drinking with Brendan, who loves to chat a lot of shit.
Yeah.
Brian's there. Eddie Bravo's doing conspiracy theories.
Yeah.
How is that like an accurate take on what happened? But a lot of people did see it the way they saw it. A lot of people did think Volk won 3-2 or whatever.
It's okay to think that.
Yeah, it's okay.
You are not a lunatic for thinking that Islam won that fight.
Yeah.
You're not a lunatic for thinking that Volkanovski won that fight. Both. You know what we should see more in the UFC? I think we need more draws.
More draws, yeah.
Like if we could have called that a draw.
That was a draw. Could have been a draw, yeah.
Like realistically, no one won that fight.
Yeah.
Clearly. So why not just make that a draw?
Some people have some weird. They say like, "Oh, Volk had a 10-8 in round 5." That wasn't a 10-8. Come on, man. That was a 10-9. Like 10-8 is just because he had him for a minute, like in a bad position. But
it took us years to get 10-8s in the UFC. Now you want to give everything 10-8 when it's in your favor.
Yeah.
That's the problem, right? Max Kellerman used to have a saying in boxing. It was like, this person may have won the fight, but the opponent won the story of the fight.
That's what happened. Yeah.
That is exactly what happened, because Islam won the fight.
Yeah.
But Volkanovski won the hearts of the UFC
Volkanovski's stock went up, whereas
massively,
Islam's looked like it went down a little.
Yeah,
but
which is scary.
that's the thing about Dagestani fighters. They're so dominant that if they look human, everyone's going to be like, "Oh, the other guy won."
Yeah.
But that's how good they are. And there's no shame in Islam having a close fight with someone. That's MMA. Look, he's not as good as Khabib. It's clear. I mean, in some aspects he might be better than Khabib, but Khabib, was dominant. And, Islam, he did look a little bit human, but like when Hamza fought Burns, they're like, "Oh, Burns should have won because because Hamza was meant to squash him, but he didn't." But Burns was like number 3 and Hamza was number 11. So it's amazing that Hamza even did that.
If I was Islam, I would take all of this as a compliment.
Yeah.
Because this kind of criticism, for someone even having a competitive fight with you, is reserved for great fighters.
And it just speaks to how highly people think of you and how high your potential is. And, I think in a rematch, it'll probably be a different fight.
Let's go in. We haven't had a serious podcast in a while. Let's get a little bit analytical for the shits and gigs. And then maybe at the end I'll wank you off. Yeah. Right? Because it is Valentine's Day. Happy Valentine's Day, by the way, beautiful. Is this our second Valentine's Day together?
Yeah.
Aw. Anyway, where was the fight won and lost in your mind?
I think Islam won the early rounds because, he was getting the takedowns, he was having control, and also his striking looked really good as well.
Yeah.
And I think that's probably surprised Volk. And, I think because Volk his reach was a lot, shorter, he couldn't get inside, he couldn't work his jab. Islam was landing on him, he was landing knees, he was landing in the clinch. And I think early on, the size difference was a problem for Volk. But Volk managed to turn it around later on. And I think it was just a little too late. Like, he got it going in, like, round 3 and 5. And, that's a bit too late.
I think the biggest frustration for Volkanovski, I agree with what you said, by the way. I think the biggest frustration for Volkanovski during that fight is when you're fighting someone who has grappling to the level of Islam, it limits your freedom of expression with the striking. Because you're constantly having to think about someone level changing and taking you down when you're fighting a guy like that. So we didn't see a free Volkanovski, a free-flowing Volkanovski. But I think also a big frustration for Islam, and I heard Henry Cejudo and Demetrius Johnson talking about this, when you're a wrestler and you are fighting someone who's significantly shorter than you, it's harder to take them down sometimes because the distance you need to travel to get to the legs is further away. And they have a lower center of gravity so they can maintain balance.
Oh, that takedown that Islam landed in the 4th round.
Oh my God.
Wow.
He just caught him in the exact... People who watch that who have no clue about MMA have no appreciation for what happened there. He predicted that somehow, in a split moment, and that's going to bring me on to my next point, because I've made a list of...
That was a flash takedown.
Yeah.
That was like you have flash knockdowns. That was a flash takedown out of nowhere, man.
So I've got a list on my phone of clear differences I now see between Islam's games and Khabib's game. We'll get to that in a second, right? But somehow he predicted that Volkanovski was going to overcommit in a fight where he didn't really overcommit often.
Yeah.
And decided in that split second, autopilot, drop a level, not forward, literally just let the body come to him. He didn't drive forward to get to him because he knew Volkanovski was going to do the work for him. Oh, man. To have that kind of... It's sexy, innit?
Yeah.
Like, to know that that's going to happen.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, I couldn't do that to my nephew. And he did it to one of the best fighters ever to live.
So, who would you favour going into a rematch? Because the way I see it is, now Volk knows he can kind of handle the takedowns. He can, you know, stop the submissions. And Islam knows that he could outstrike him. So, it's very interesting.
I think out of the two... The person who has more rooms for adjustments is Islam.
Yeah, yeah.
Because I think Islam now knows that he needs to pressure more and he needs to chain wrestle more.
Yeah. If I'm
to secure a formidable position.
If I'm Volk, I want that rematch tomorrow. I want it now. Get him right now. Whereas Islam, I would want to maybe have 1 or 2 fights, get a little bit more experience, then do the rematch. Because if they could leave it a little bit longer, I think Islam's going to get better. Whereas you know, Volk, he's a bit older now, and maybe he will decline a little bit in a couple of years. But if I'm Volk, I want that this year. I want it in September. I want it as soon as possible.
There's also the argument to be made about 5-round experience and the lack of.
Yeah, I know Volk's had, you know, wars with Ortega, 2 close fights with Max. The third one was whatever. Beat the shit out of Korean Zombie. So he's had that experience in being in long fights. Whereas Islam, I think he only went more than 4 rounds with Thiago Moises or something and he finished him anyway. And it wasn't a competitive fight. Whereas most of them were like 3-round fights anyway. So yeah, I think now that Islam has that under his belt, the next fight will be a bit more. I don't know, man. I don't know how to call the next one. But also, Islam didn't have Khabib in the corner. I know you said you didn't think it would be a factor, but...
Islam said it was a factor.
It looked like it was a factor, yeah.
Did you hear what Islam said to him on the phone? He was like, if you were here, I would have been able to say what you did.
Khabib was like, why you do this, bro?
Yeah. And Khabib kind of felt a bit awkward, I think, on the phone. I think he kind of felt a little bit bad. Yeah. Because he just changed the subject. He was like, well, it's done now.
Yeah.
I guess if you are Khabib, you are in 2 minds about stepping away. Because I guess in one hand, he's thinking, I need Islam to... make his own name now away from me, and I need to spend time with my family, but also I want to make sure he wins.
I mean, I think he should have stayed for this one, at least.
Yeah, it's a weird time to leave.
This was the biggest fight of his career, like champ fight. It's like, come on, man, this is the one you should have stayed for. Yeah. But I get it, you know, he's got his own life to deal with and whatever, but this was a good one to like ride off into the sunset with. Obviously, Charles, when he got him the belt, this one would have been like, wow, we went into their territory, we beat the shit out of him, and we went. But now it's a bit, you know, it's a bit sour. It's like, oh, did he win? Did he not win? And also, Australian judges, just give it to your boy, innit? Like, oh shit, man.
Oh yeah, that's true.
They should have just given it. You know what they say, like, oh, if it goes to decision, Volk will win because the judges will give it to him.
If that was in England, then an English fighter,
Darren Till would have won it.
Yeah.
Like, even though he wasn't in the main event, they would have given it to Darren Till.
Which is, we're kind of predicting the future a little bit, but Usman better stop him. Because British judges are known, and in boxing especially, are known for fuckery. Yeah. They do not give a shit.
Bisping versus Henderson's the biggest example of that. It's like close fight.
Very close fight.
I thought Henderson
Silver
won. Yeah,
that was in the UK, wasn't it?
I think Bisping won that. It's just because that knockdown was so bad that it looked like Silver won.
Wild.
That was like a finish almost.
Who was that? Herb Dean?
I can't remember.
I think it was Herb Dean, and he was just there like, oh, for fuck's sake. Like, what do I do now?
So there's obviously... So this might be controversial. Obviously, this was number 1 versus number 2. Yeah. This is for whoever's going to be pound for pound number 1. But for some reason, I know Islam won, but I still don't feel comfortable saying he's the pound for pound number 1. I don't know if Volk is either, but I feel like Volk is closer to being pound for pound number 1. And I know he lost. I know that's insane. But because of the weight difference and because of the way it ended, I know he lost the fight, but he kind of won the war, if you know what I mean. I don't know.
Okay. My personal opinion on these rankings, I've made it very clear on this podcast. I think they're all bollocks.
Yeah.
Because McGregor was on those things for 17 years. I'm pretty sure they put McGregor in the pound for pound after he beat Brandao, for God's sake.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, they don't really matter for much.
Yeah.
And this isn't so Volkanovski's still number one.
Yeah.
And this isn't the first time stuff like this has happened. Like when Jan beat Israel, he didn't overtake Israel in the rankings.
That's a good point. Yeah.
So does it really matter?
I think because
the marketing was that this was for pound number one.
Yeah.
However, the people, the journalists and whoever votes for these things don't have to subscribe to the marketing.
I think because Volk is, a 145er, and he probably weighed 20 pounds less than Islam on that night.
Yeah.
So, and because of how close it was, and because of the way he kind of got the final stamp on it, I can't really look at Islam and say you're number one right now. And obviously amazing fighter, whatever, but I don't know. It's I wanted Islam to win as well, and it's just it's just a tough one to say that he's won over Volk, basically.
There's two ways of doing these rankings. You could either take an extremely systematic approach and say this person beat this person, therefore this person has to be higher than this person. Or you can take the more nuanced approach, which is what you're doing, considering all sorts of quantitative but also qualitative factors.
Yeah.
Right? Which one is better? I don't know. However, the argument I have is I think the rankings are bollocks anyway. We shouldn't even have them.
And also,
because even if you have a number one guy, everyone's going to have a different opinion
also,
anyway.
it changes all the time. Like, Usman was number one for so long.
Yeah.
And then one head kick, and then he drops like 4 places or whatever.
And is Edwards above him?
Sorry, what?
Is Edwards above him in the pound for pound?
Now he is, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
See, so why does Edwards get to over...
Let's have a look at it.
Well, that's interesting. See,
And Adesanya's still above Pereira, which is interesting.
there you go. You see what I'm saying?
That's
So
weird.
how do they decide that Edwards overtakes Usman, but Pereira doesn't overtake...
It's because he's had 7 fights. You can't...
All right, but Jan then. So how comes Jan didn't overtake Izzy? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
How do they come up with these things?
I think when the guy who is going up loses, you can't really just throw him out because he put on a good close fight.
I think it's like a... maybe there should be like a double jeopardy.
John Jones is still number 10.
There could be like a double jeopardy rule.
Yeah.
Like if you've taken the jeopardy of going up a division and challenging for a belt, your punishment should be if you lose, you lose, but you shouldn't be double punished for taking a massive chance. Do you know what I mean?
But yeah, John Jones is number 10 and he hasn't fought for 3 years, so that kind of tells you everything you need to know.
Who else is in that?
Okay, so it goes so Volkanovski, Makhachev, Edwards, Usman, Adesanya, Pereira, Sterling, Oliveira, Moreno, John Jones, Yuri, Dustin, Jamahal Hill, Robert Whittaker, and Max Holloway. That seems a bit off for some reason. Like, why is Max... I get why Max... He had a good career there. Like, I don't know.
Like there are people who aren't champions who are above champions in that list.
Yeah.
Like how does that work? Surely the first 7 people, the top 7 should be all champions.
I mean, I guess it's because some of them just became champ. Like Brandon Moreno just became champ again. Also, it's the lowest weight class. No one gives a shit.
But that's the problem. No one knows the criteria.
Yeah, it's kind of just made up.
It's like people sit in a room that probably looks like this and they make it up every month.
Okay, so obviously there was a lot of controversy because man like Dan Hooker made a tweet saying, Islam, you cheating dog. You cheated. Apparently a nurse came and gave him an IV. Obviously, it's a big accusation and, that could lead to a lawsuit and shit. So he must have some... Yeah, he has to come with evidence.
Yeah.
But I don't think he would just say it because obviously he doesn't seem like the smartest guy, but I don't think he'll be that dumb to just say it without any evidence. And Volkanovski had an interview with Ariel, and he didn't say it, but he was hinting at it, and he was laughing about it. And he was laughing with someone behind the screen, and he's like, oh, yeah, I'm not going to say it or whatever. So,
I mean, would I be surprised that fighters from a Russian background who are extremely well-funded are using medical doctors to rehydrate?
Yeah.
I mean, it's not the wildest thing.
Khabib's had kind of a bit of this controversy as well.
Yeah,
I mean, the Tiramisu Tuesday, that thing.
It's not the wildest things to say, but you got to still come with evidence.
Also, the whole towel thing at when he fought Justin.
Yeah, that's an AKO vibe.
Yeah, so I wouldn't be surprised, but it's a huge accusation, and if it does come out to be true, it doesn't just tarnish Islam's legacy, it will kind of like throw the kind of, it'll make you question everything.
Can I be honest? I don't think people will care as much for an IV
Yeah.
as they would if it was like EPO.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think people are like,
But I
"That's
feel
cheeky."
like because it's Dagestanis, they're gonna like go harder at them. Because
Right.
people are hurt right now by Dagestani fighters
Yeah.
taking everything.
Yeah.
Because they're like, oh, why are they just so good and
I don't
dominant?
know, man.
What can we do against them? Oh, it's because he used the fucking IV to
Yeah.
make his weight lower, whatever.
I think even Islam said at one point, he was like, they would just give us stuff, brother. Like, it's like kind of admitting that they were
Honestly-
being pumped up with shit.
Honestly, Dagestani fighters are so dominant. Dagestani, Chechnya, they're so
Yeah.
dominant that it's just everyone is fucking shook right now. They
Yeah.
don't know what to do. So if they have one little thing over them, like, Volk won 2 rounds over him, or Volk cut him, they celebrate that. They celebrate a minor little. Obviously, Volk had a good fight against him. You could say he won, but even the Burns Hamzat thing, they'll celebrate those things and be like, yeah, we got them.
Yeah.
We got them. They're not as dominant as you thought.
Does it feel like after this fight that people are getting closer to cracking the Dagestani code?
I don't think people are. I think Volk is just that good.
Yeah.
I just think
Volk
Volk
is-
is that good.
Volk isn't your average
He's not
fighter. Like,
he's just that good. I
you
told
can't-
I
yeah.
knew his IQ was so high he would figure something out.
someone said on Twitter, you can't choke out a man who doesn't have a neck.
Yeah, he's got no neck.
Like, what are you going to choke? There's no neck. There's nothing to choke.
Bro, Volk really impressed me, man. I wasn't the biggest Volk fan before because
Yeah.
I used to love Max.
He's really won the heart of the people now.
Yeah, he's an amazing fighter, man. One of the best in the world, elite as hell, Hall of Famer.
He's come a long way, because I think when he first won the belt, people were hoping he was just going to be a transitioning champion that would be in and out.
Yeah.
And now he's beloved.
He's beloved.
Not in Dagestan, but everywhere else.
And like, it's unbelievable what he does, because he's that short and he's like, even versus Max. I know Max is the same weight class, but what he did to Max, what he did to Ortega, what he's did to Islam,
what he did to
impressive.
Max in the third fight
In the third fight, he just
was shocking.
was rude.
Like talking to him,
Yeah, it was just.
saying, "Oh, that one hurt."
Yeah.
That's
Did you see him
bad.
did you see him in the Islam fight?
Bad.
Like, he's not strong. He's not
Yeah.
strong.
He was calling him a bitch.
Yeah.
Well, like punching him in the back. He was like, "Is that all you got, you little bitch?"
Yeah. And it's just shocking how strong he is.
If I was Volkanovski, you know that the bit when Islam had his back,
Yeah.
and to the camera he went like that.
Yeah.
I'd get that framed and put on a canvas photo
That's
in my
good,
living room.
But yeah, he's so strong, man. I think that surprised a lot of people too, because we know the Dagestani fighters for being strong.
Yeah.
But Volk, that strength he had, like, it's just unbelievable, man.
A little bit of a side note, but it's relevant to the event as a whole. Has Dana given up or something?
It's Australia, man. It's long. It's long, bro.
I think this guy's on his way out, you know.
No, it's not. Maybe, but
He talks-
look,
wait.
this fight was in Brazil last month, and then this one was in Australia.
Yeah.
So I understand why he's not traveling. Maybe he's done it where he's only he's doing Joe Rogan. He's just doing US stuff. He'll probably go London. He has to go London.
I mean, I don't know.
London's not too long.
He seemed a little bit bored with it all recently.
It's living life, innit?
Yeah. I think it's time he probably goes soon.
Shall we
anyway.
move on to a different fight? We spent 40 minutes talking about that one. But it's
Before
good.
we
It's a
do
big
that,
fight.
can I go through my list of
Yeah, go ahead.
differences? Okay. These are my jokes. I can't read those. It's haram.
Oh, apparently Makhachev did take over pound for pound.
Oh, so it has changed.
Men's pound for pound #1. Oh, that's MMA fighting's pound for pound.
Oh, right. Yeah, well, there you go. There's not even one list.
Yeah.
It shows you how much.
Everyone's got their own.
Right, so differences that I've noticed between Islam and Khabib, right? Khabib is quicker at readjusting his position. So when Islam gets into an advantageous position, you could see him thinking about what he's going to do next. Now, he's still extremely quick, but Khabib is ridiculous. Khabib transitions from position to position like he's not even thinking about it. It's just happening. Whereas you kind of see Islam taking a moment to calculate his next position.
Yeah.
So that's one key advantage that Khabib has over Islam. Islam is definitely more conservative with his stand-up. And by the way, I think Volkanovski and Islam surprised each other, because I think Islam was a better striker than Volkanovski expected, and Volkanovski was a better wrestler than Islam expected. Islam likes having his opponents come to him and countering them.
Oh, okay.
Whereas Khabib, likes to pressure and throw wild punches and wild knees to set up the takedown.
Okay.
Whereas Islam is much more comfortable with taking his time. And you would probably say from a conventional technique standpoint, Islam's a better striker.
Yeah.
Khabib is obviously much more pressure orientated, whereas Islam wants his opponents to come to him. And Khabib definitely has a superior chin.
Yeah.
Like that guy, do you remember the Barboza head kick?
Yeah.
Just ate it.
He ate everything.
Ate
Even
it.
against Dustin as well.
Against Dustin, against Conor. Conor hits hard.
Yeah.
Right? And didn't even look troubled once in those fights. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Okay, we can move on now.
Yeah, I think Islam's definitely, I would say he's a superior striker, but I wouldn't say that's a good thing necessarily, because I feel like those guys should just stick to what they're good at and use the wrestling offense.
It should all be orientated.
Yeah.
Khabib's game was all set up towards winning.
Yeah, I think Islam striking does cause Khabib stress.
Yeah.
He's like, why'd you do that when you could just take them down? But Islam's striking's really impressive. It's quite dynamic. I wouldn't say as good as Yair, but he was throwing some Yair level stuff.
Yeah.
Like a lot of good kicks, a lot of good knees, like...
Letting them come to him.
Yeah. Let's talk about Yair, man.
Oh, my God.
Yair was... Bro. Yair looked amazing, man. He's really coming to his prime. He's 31 now. You know, he's had some ups and downs, but he was looking like a world-class guy.
He's getting better at staying in the pocket.
Yeah.
Without taking as much damage.
It was scary though, like when he was in the pocket with Josh Emmett.
Yeah.
Like, he did get, I think he got dropped a couple times, but...
Couple of times, but they were kind of like, okay, I'm just going to operate off my back.
Yeah,
kind of like
but it didn't hurt him. Like he just got up and dealt with it. And like, you see the way he was just spamming those body kicks and kicks from just anywhere.
Because they're quick and accurate. You can't get out the way of them.
He's another video game character. He's a super video game character, man.
Like Emmett knew they were coming.
Yeah.
Those kicks. Because they had already done like 3 in a row.
It seemed like Emmett knew everything was coming, but just took it.
I think
he knew the triangle was coming, and he's like, okay, I'll just have it.
What I noticed about Emmett, I think the occasion got to him.
Yeah,
because there was a few moments where he was just kind of like loading up.
Yeah,
and falling over his front leg, and he would have spent his entire camp not doing what he did that night.
I also think he cuts too much weight because he was looking. He was looking really bad at the weigh-in, man. He was like a bit shaky. Yeah. You know, that's never a good sign.
I mean, he's too thick for...
Yeah.
I don't know how he even gets there.
Nah.
Like, it's ridiculous how he gets there.
Yair was looking amazing, though, man. And, him versus Volk's an interesting one because I don't want to write off Yair. I mean, I'm pretty sure Volk would win that, but, you know, Yair's got a chance. Like, can't say he's got no chance.
The way he creates angles for his strikes, for leverage. I noticed, you know, the elbows he was throwing from the bottom?
Yeah.
Have you noticed how he gets so much leverage on that?
Oh, man, that was... Bro.
But do you see what he does with his back?
Yeah.
He arches.
Yeah.
So he's bridging with his back.
Yeah.
And then he collapses so he can get the leverage.
Have you seen, like, someone put that much twerk into a fucking elbow from the bottom? Like...
It's incredible.
It was like, that was like a punch.
Because his dexterity, like his back, I don't know if the camera's going to see this, but his back is literally like, if this is his body... He arches like that and then flattens and uses that momentum to throw the elbow.
Yeah.
Oh,
it's really exciting seeing someone from the bottom getting good strikes off. Like him, Holland versus Jacare. Even Volkanovski had a few as well.
A note for future opponents of Yair.
Yeah.
If you feel Yair put his legs from bottom on your thighs, either stand up or readjust, because he's either going to elbow the shit out of you or try and trap one of your arms.
Yeah.
That guy, his dexterity to get that much that torque. I don't think... Who's the last... Tony was good at that in his prime.
Oh, Tony was good, yeah.
Tony was good at that in his prime. Maybe that's where he learned it from watching Tony.
Like, let's just say... Let's take Volkanovski out of the featherweight division. Does Yair beat... like Max Holloway again, like in a rematch? Does he beat Arnold Allen? Would he beat Brian Ortega? Like if it was didn't end of the last.
I mean, to be honest, the way that fight was tracking, it was looking good for Yair anyway.
Yeah.
I think now he beats Holloway, but then again, we don't know what Holloway's.
Yeah.
We need to see Holloway one more time.
When see Holloway versus Arnold Allen sometime this summer. This like spring. Yeah.
Arnold Allen's a tough fight for anyone because he's so well rounded. He's so compact.
I feel like Yair will take him though right now.
Yeah, I mean Yair's stock.
I think Yair's going to take him. Because Yair's had more 5-round experience. He's definitely a better striker. But
Well, there goes Arnold Allen.
nah, like Arnold Allen in a couple years, I think would be.
No, I meant as in coming on the podcast.
I know.
Yeah.
But I still love Arnold Allen, and I think he will be champ one day.
Yeah.
But I think it's.
Good save.
Let's see what he does against Max. I feel like I said before, I think he would beat Max. I think he could beat Max.
That's the problem with MMA, right? Because Yair just thought we're hot on his dick, right? But if Arnold Allen turns around and fucking smurfs Max Holloway in the first round, we're going to say Arnold Allen beats Yair Rodriguez.
And also, Josh Emmett isn't like,
he's good.
He's amazing, but he's not really top 5. Like, it says he's top 5, but we know that Calvin Kattar probably beat him. And
that was a perfect example of one guy underperforming, another guy fighting out of his skin.
Yeah.
It was just because, honestly, mate, like he's going to be kicking himself.
Yeah.
Because you will spend your entire camp when you're a striker working on not falling over your front foot, timing, being patient. And because they know what Josh Emmett is like, his camp knows what he's like.
Yeah.
I bet every day in the camp, there was like, be patient with him.
Yeah.
Make sure you have a tight defense. That bell goes, all of it goes out the window.
Yeah.
That must be so frustrating.
But that featherweight division's looking really good, man. I know Volkanovski cleared most of it, but if you look at the bottom, you got like, obviously Bryce Mitchell lost, but you got Movsar Evloev, you got Topuria, you got Giga still there, Kattar. Korean Zombie's pretty much done.
Shall we do a who does Yair beat?
Who does Yair beat at featherweight?
Who can beat Yair Rodriguez?
Who can beat Yair Rodriguez?
Yeah.
Well,
From
Volkanovski probably.
Let's go from bottom up.
Bottom up.
Bottom up's always more fun.
Okay. Can any of these guys beat Yair Rodriguez? Alice Caceres.
Nope.
Barbosa.
Nope.
Ige.
Nope.
Sadiq Youssef.
One day maybe he's very good.
Bryce Mitchell.
No, not right now.
Movsar Evloev.
That guy could be very good one day.
Yeah. Topuria.
One day. Yeah.
Giga.
No, had his moment.
Calvin Kattar.
No.
Korean Zombie.
No.
Josh Emmett lost. Arnold Allen.
I mean, Korean Zombie got fucking flatlined in the last second.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Arnold Allen, no. I think Arnold Allen is one of those guys, he's good everywhere, but Yair is special in one place.
Yeah.
Brian Ortega, I know they thought he got injured, but that fight wasn't tracking well for Ortega.
Holloway rematch, probably.
I think he could beat him now, but we don't know. We don't know what Holloway's got left.
And Yair Rodriguez.
Yair.
Would he
would Yair Rodriguez beat
Yeah,
Yair Rodriguez?
I think he would, yeah.
I think he could stop him.
Yeah. Volk is the tough one, isn't it? I don't know. I don't think he could beat Volk right now, but...
You know, that's kind of like a philosophical question. Can Yair Rodriguez beat it? Because the only person who's ever beaten John Jones is John Jones.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I actually forgot that he beat Korean Zombie. Korean Zombie in my head won that fight, but he fucking...
I think there was like 1 second left.
Yeah, because I think Korean Zombie was winning that round like 4-1 maybe.
Did he mean that?
I don't know.
Or do you reckon it was just a freak?
Is that the latest stoppage of all time?
Do you remember that?
Yeah. Fucking...
Yeah. Fucking...
Basically, there was a fight where one guy was, clearly winning the whole fight. And in the last second, they both... It was like 10 seconds left. They're like, come on, let's do it. Yair's insane individual, man.
It's kind of hot as well.
He's a good-looking guy. Viva Mexico!
His mum was kind of fit. Did you see his
I
mum?
didn't see his mum.
Hot.
What else happened on the card? Jack Della Maddalena. Good.
Very good. Closed the distance on Big Randy Brown. Is it Randy Brown?
Yeah. Justin Taffer looked good.
I didn't watch much of the card because it was so late.
Jimmy Crute was he's a disappointing guy. Like, he had a draw, but he only got that because of a foul by Alonso.
Jimmy Crute looks like a school shooter who didn't do the school shooting.
No, Jimmy Crute looks like a rugby dude, like a good-looking guy.
I don't know. He kind of reminds me of a kid.
Nah,
who could have been a school shooter.
No, he doesn't.
Really?
Bro, he's like a hench dude. Like, he's like
I don't know.
He looks like a Hemsworth brother that no one talks to.
He gives me a vibe of a school shooter who's actually done well in life.
Okay, maybe.
I don't know.
But anyway, that guy is disappointing. 25. He was looking good, and then he's just lost a few. And I don't know, maybe he'll come out. But his chin is really bad for 27 years old. He's just getting cracked.
What's his record
26. Now? He's 12-3-1, and he's 26. Still got potential. At light heavyweight, anything can happen. But he did get knocked out by the champ. To be fair, his losses have been against... He lost against Misha Serkinov, not a good look. He lost against Anthony Smith, maybe too soon for him. It was a doctor stoppage. And he lost against the champ, so fair enough.
Do you want to do a quick fun game?
I don't care about Jimmy Crute.
No, it's not Jimmy Crute. Bring up Islam Makhachev's record.
Okay.
And then bring up the UFC lightweight rankings. And then you tell me who does Islam Makhachev need to beat for the rest of his career to officially have a better record than Khabib? How many more wins does Islam need against elite opposition to be considered to have a better record than Khabib?
Look, the thing is, I think he could beat everyone. He could have 10 title defenses, but Khabib's always going to have that thing where he just didn't get touched. Like, he was just dominant. He had 3 title defenses in a row against 3 of the best lightweights possibly ever,
And then
he
dominated
just made
them.
them look silly. But
I think he needs to do something a little bit different. And I know they don't like doing this, but I think he needs to win 2 belts.
I think, for Islam to have it over Khabib, he's going to have to go welterweight and win the belt. But I didn't consider that because they never do that thing. They never take that risk. So I never even considered that.
The best case scenario for Islam is that Edwards retains.
Yeah.
Because I think he's got a much better chance of beating Edwards.
Yeah.
And that's no knock on Edwards. Styles make fights.
But even then, like, were he able to get Edwards down? Because he couldn't really get Volk down. So I don't know. Because the strength-wise, Leon should have quite a strength advantage over him, maybe. But I don't know.
You'd assume he'd have enough to take him down.
Yeah. Probably.
You know?
I think Leon's takedown defense is good. It's just Usman's that good and that strong where he can get him down. But Leon's actually generally pretty good.
Yeah. I think that would be interesting to see Islam attempt that.
But like, if Islam, he's 24-1 right now. So like, he could defend the belt versus Dustin and Dariush.
I still think even if he did, people won't say he's better than Khabib.
No,
Does
that's
he
what I'm
want to
saying.
be? Do you reckon deep down he wants to be considered better than Khabib?
I think you always see Khabib as big brother, and
yeah,
he's happy to, you know.
Would you be? Let's say people always considered me to be a better comedian than you. Would that bother you?
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. No, but I'll be happy for you though.
Would you?
Yeah, of course.
Interesting. I would probably kill you in your sleep.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah, I'd shit on you.
But it's not.
And then
It's
I
more
would,
like
molest your dad.
For us, I think it's more a competitive thing. It's like, you know, oh yeah, I want to do good, but it keeps us, you know, at a good level. Like, we're trying to, like, you know, both become better. But Islam's, I think, is happy that Khabib has stepped away, and now he knows that Khabib's time is over. Now it's my time. So I'm gonna make the most of my time. Khabib's done his time.
Yeah.
And we'll leave it up to the public to decide who was better.
Can I just say, again, random thought I just had, but these Dagestanis, they have really nice dinners. Have you seen this?
That's what I was saying.
Nice celebration dinners.
When we was talking about what what fighter we want to have a night out with, I would want to have a night out with those guys because they'll have like a feast, man.
It'll be a fun
you have
halal
your
night.
kebabs, you have your
a fun halal night.
have your little Coke Zeros on the table, no drinking.
Lucas, have you ever been out? Have you ever like hung out with Muslims?
This is how racist is Lucas part of the podcast.
Like, have you ever like been like? Have you ever had like a meal with like some proper Muslim brothers where like no one's wearing socks and shit? You're eating on the floor.
No. It was in a restaurant. But
Yeah?
It was
What
it was
restaurant?
A while ago. I can't remember. It's somewhere in.
Sounds like a fib, innit? Yeah, mate. I know Muslims, mate. Do you know
Now
what I
he's
mean,
gonna say
mate?
somewhere
It was
in
when I
East
was, like,
London.
10. It was somewhere in East London.
Okay, of course.
Right.
When I was like 10. But
And you were with the Muslims, or the Muslims were just in the same
it
place?
was with the Muslims.
It was with the
someone's
Muslimics.
birthday.
Nice.
What was his name? Muhammad.
Hamza.
Okay.
Hamza, fair enough. Yeah, there's something to be said about.
Was delicious.
I feel like, you know, when you hang out with the Muslims, right? Like the Muslims. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're eating on the floor. No one's using cutlery. You bond. You do bond.
Yeah, I like it.
So these guys do that every day.
Yeah, it's nice.
I don't think you know this about me, right? But I lived in a study house for like a month because I thought I wanted to move out when I was 16. Someone was like, okay, you can move into, and my secondary school was connected to this Islamic charity, and they'd have study houses for kids who had migrated from like Azerbaijan and Turkey. But the older brothers who were like uni students were extremely religious, and they were from like Russia, Azerbaijan, Turkey, Cyprus, countries like that, right? And every night we would take turns preparing the meal, and we'd eat on the floor. No one was wearing socks. It stank of feet. Everyone was using their hands, and it was kind of butters.
Yeah.
But you do bond.
I'll still
You
keep
do
my socks
really
on.
bond.
I don't like the no sock thing. That's a bit gross.
And then they make you do your homework. That's why I left after a month, because they'd make me do my homework. I didn't want to do it.
What else is there to talk about?
Why are you racist?
So what do you think's next for... If Islam doesn't fight Volk, what do you think's next for him?
Bring up those rankings, brother.
Talking to Islam Makhachev versus... Okay, so number 2 is Dustin.
He's not going to fight Charles again.
Justin, he hasn't fought Justin before. Has he fought Justin? No, he hasn't. I keep getting mixed up.
I don't know why, but him fighting against Dustin and Justin,
it just seems like we already know what's going to happen.
Yeah, I'm over it.
But do we though? Like how?
I want to see Benil.
Benil, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not like
Benil versus Makhachev.
I'm not overly crazy about Benil.
I think Islam's going to beat him, but it's an interesting fight, and I think it's the most interesting fight at lightweight.
I think it will sell terribly.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, this last fight probably didn't sell that great either.
Benil is a very boring looking man, isn't it?
Yeah. And the way he talks as well. He wants the big fight and he's like, Elon Musk, give my wife a Tesla. Like, what the fuck is that all about?
And then like saying Jesus is the only way in Dubai. Was it Dubai where he said that, or Saudi Arabia?
Oh, who knows, man.
What a legend. Imagine screaming Jesus is the answer in Dubai. In front of like the royal prince, Abu Dhabi.
But yeah, I think Benil versus Islam is definitely the most interesting fight you can make at lightweight. If he's not going to rematch Volk, I think that's the one to do. But there's rumors that Dariush is fighting Oliveira. And I kind of think Oliveira could still win that for some reason.
Yeah, of course he can.
Yeah,
of course he can. Yeah, 100%.
I mean, people would write off Oliveira, but he can probably win that.
There is no reason at this point to write off Oliveira. You know?
Yeah.
There's no reason to believe he's done.
Yeah. So I think Oliveira, I don't know. I think Dariush should just wait. I don't think he should fight Oliveira. It's too risky. But yeah.
But that's not how he got his position, by saying no.
True. But yeah, man, it's a good division.
Who's in the lower half?
So we got Grant Dawson, we got Drew Dober, we got Renato Moicano, Demetrius Magulov. Apparently he did retire.
Yeah.
Dan Hooker, Jalen Turner, RDA, Arman, Gamrot, Fiziev, Chandler, Dariush, Gaethje, Poirier, Oliveira.
Out of those lower half guys, the only one I could see one day being a champion is Arman.
Because Arman did have a good fight with Islam a couple of years ago.
I don't see Jalen as a future champion.
Nah.
No offense, Jalen.
But his reach is really good and like he's tall. So if he gets it all together, maybe. But I feel like he'll get taken down a lot. But yeah. Arman Sakari and Islam, it might be one of those ones where they fight early.
Yeah.
And it was a good fight actually. It was a fight of the night kind of fight. And one day maybe Arman can challenge for the belt, but
Go back to featherweight. Who was Sadiq Yusuf's last fight?
I believe Sadiq Yusuf won versus someone, but he
lost to Arnold Allen.
He lost to Arnold Allen, but that was a close fight as well.
That's one of those could be a future title fight.
Yeah, that was a close fight. Sadiq Yusuf he
hasn't fought in a while, I don't think.
He doesn't fight much. He's not too active.
No, he's
29. He's won his last two fights, Don Shanis and Alex Caceres. And
when was his last fight?
October 20. He fought twice last year, which is not too bad. But if you're at that level, I feel like you should be fighting 3-4 times a year.
You have to be. Gain momentum. Momentum is so huge in MMA.
But that guy, he's got a future. What's I going to say?
The secret to climbing the UFC rankings is one, make sure you're on Dana White's good book and get 3 or 4 wins in a year.
Yeah.
If you can.
Also, it's confirmed that McGregor's fighting Chandler.
Yeah. I heard him say it.
That is confirmed. They're doing Ultimate Fighter.
I don't see McGregor winning this.
You don't
more
see
I think about it.
You don't see it?
No.
I would like to see it.
I think he's going to get
I'm a big McGregor fan, but I don't know.
Do you reckon we can get McGregor on the podcast
Maybe.
as well?
But I think McGregor...
Fucking sick would that be?
McGregor should win based on historical, like him versus shorter fighters and stocky wrestlers. He should win in that aspect. Michael Chandler should be a Chad Mendes kind of guy. But I don't know, like even a guy like Michael Chandler, if your heart's not in it, he's probably going to knock you out. So
Michael Chandler's heart's going to be in it.
Michael Chandler's heart is very much in it.
Michael Chandler is the type of guy.
He's doing it for his 2 adopted sons or 1 adopted son.
Michael Chandler is the type of guy, he doesn't do anything half-heartedly. If his wife sends him to buy yogurt from the shops, he's doing it with passion.
Also, Michael Chandler's one of the nicest dudes.
Yeah.
Like, just the way he talks. I fucking love that guy, man.
He's got a couple of stepkids in it. Not stepkids, adopted kids.
Adopted kids, yeah.
I always feel like people who adopt kids, generally speaking, are very nice people.
Yeah.
My mum's adopted.
Yeah.
Which is why I don't like her.
Yeah. Yeah, Michael Chandler. Michael Chandler versus McGregor. How would it actually play out? Round 1 starts. Does Michael Chandler go for the takedown or does he just go forward, chin up,
what do you think, bro?
Swinging?
What do you think?
Because if he goes up, chin and swinging, like McGregor could counter that shit, but McGregor hasn't looked like a good counter puncher for a long time.
I think McGregor's.
If McGregor comes out boxing style in the pocket, he's done, bro.
Yeah.
But if he comes out old McGregor, you know, throwing kicks, counter striking, he should put away Chandler.
How great would it be if McGregor came out karate stance?
Yeah.
Timed him.
Yeah.
Pop.
Yeah, then
away.
McGregor should win. But if it's a war,
he's not going to do that.
if it's a war in the pocket, Chandler's going to knock him out, or Chandler's going to take him down at some point and just fuck him up. Like, who knows?
Yeah, I mean, Chandler's not going to come and do it.
But even if that old McGregor is back for just a minute and a half, he could probably put away Chandler. Because Chandler's chin isn't looking too hot right now.
Don't you find it?
And also what's interesting is both of them are 1 to 2 round fighters. So it's kind of like who's going to last longer kind of thing.
Has there ever been a fighter who's more first round heavy
Yeah.
than McGregor?
Well, Michael Chandler's probably the second.
Michael Chandler can seem to hold the gas tank
A little
for
bit longer. But both of them.
Like when fights go into the second round, all McGregor fans go,
Yeah. I know.
let's get started.
But then again, he did beat Diaz by decision. He did.
But he
went.
fucking willed himself to the. He crawled to that finish line, and
That was the McGregor, like, notorious, bro. That was the guy I fell in love with.
yeah,
That guy's gone now.
that was the man you loved
I did love him.
and cared for. Right, should we wrap this up? It's been about 15 minutes or so.
Is there anything else to talk about?
Do you want to talk about?
We'll talk about how gay you are.
Whoa, bro,
Sorry.
Lucas is right here. Sorry, Lucas. Bad.
Oh, Matt Brown's gonna fight Court McGee. Sorry.
Who's fighting who?
I don't think there's anything, to be honest.
Our condolences go out to Brian Ortega and what's her name?
Oh, the breakup.
Yeah.
Condolences mostly out to Brian Ortega.
What's the girl's name again?
Tracy Cortez.
Condolences to Brian Ortega and Tracy Cortez. You've broken up.
Just Brian, because Tracy will be fine. She'll be fine. Brian's going to be hurting right now. I hope Brian comes back a savage.
I really hope Brian is texting Halle Berry right now.
Yeah, I hope he
saying,
comes
"Yo,
back
you
a
up?"
savage and he wins a belt and he's like, fuck you.
Brian, shave your head again. That went well.
Yeah.
Shave your head again.
Yeah, shave your head again and don't have sex.
Break up Brian.
Break up Brian is going to be a savage.
You know, like C-level Kane.
Yeah.
I want to see break up Brian.
Break up Brian is going to be a savage.
Yeah.
Come on, Ortega. We believe in you, man.
TRT Belfort. C-level Kane. Break up Brian.
What was McGregor's one?
I don't know. What was McGregor's one?
1 round McGregor. I don't know.
Yeah. Do you reckon McGregor's sex life is similar to his fighting style?
Oh, he gets tired after 1 round.
Just like he'll give you the night of your life for about 30 seconds and then
Maybe.
it's just like, come.
Yeah, maybe.
All right, cool. Make sure you like, subscribe. If you do all of that, send Farhan a message and he will come to your house and headbutt your cat. Won't you?
Yeah.
Have you ever thought about kicking a cat?
Yeah.
Yeah. Lucas?
Been there, done that.
Okay, good. Good. Kurt Zuma style.
You kick the pussy.
Yeah. Kapussy. Happy Valentine's Day, everyone. Enjoy your wanks. Lubricate up. I know we've spoken about this on this podcast before, right? But I still can't get over the fact that guys with non-circumcised dicks just pulled their foreskin up and
You
down.
don't need to think about that, yeah.
It's like a scarf you can use at any point.
Mate,
Is it a striped
mental. That is so gross.
Wait, what do? They pull it down and...
So if they've got foreskin, the way they stimulate their dick clit is just by rolling their skin up and down.
Oh.
It sounds wrong.
It's great.
It's like every time like your bellend comes out, it goes, surprise, motherfucker. Surprise, motherfucker.
It sounds quite nice.
Yeah.
I'd like it.
Really?
Give it back. Could you have like foreskin realignment surgery? I just asked them to make you a foreskin.
Give it a coat.
It's gold.
Doctor, I want a scarf.
Yeah,
I bet they could.
maybe.
I think the doctor would be like, this
I mean,
is a
if
lot
they
of
can make
effort.
they can make a whole fake vagina and a whole fake penis, they can
They
make
can
a
make you.
foreskin.
They can make you a
They
foreskin.
can make a foreskin.
I think the doctor would look at you like, this is a lot of effort for very little gain,
Yeah.
but I can do it. It's like asking a barber for a weird haircut.
Yeah.
They can do it, but they can be like, you sure?
Do you really want a Nike
Yeah.
tick on your bum? I don't know.
I really wanted a Nike tick in the back of my head when I was a kid.
No, I wasn't a fucking idiot, so.
My mum tried convincing me to shave cypress into the back of my head.
What is wrong with your mum, bro?
I don't know. My mum's weird.
Your mum is weird, man.
She's proper weird.
It's because she's adopted.
Yeah, it's because she's adopted. One day I told a story about how she was found out she was adopted on this podcast. It's mental. I think that's what made her a J-bag. Anyway, thank you for coming. Farhan's dad is still ugly, but healthy.
He is, yeah.
Mashallah. Yeah. Lucas, any last comments?
No, if you got this far, you're an incel.
You are an incel if you've got this far.
Well, wait, what did you think about the fight on Saturday?
The fight,
Yeah.
I didn't see it.
Shocker.
Okay.
Racist. Racist. All right.